right. Join with me today is Valley Flying. What's up, my maniac?
What is up, brother? How are you doing?
All right, we're going to do roster review. And we're going to take a look at my roster because I've been playing this game almost 700 days.
So close.
696 days. Boy, 700 days. And this is roster review. We do this every month. And who am I farming right now? Or who am I focused on?
A lot of characters. Oh, my goodness. A lot of new characters. They look all like Raid Ultimate 7 characters.
Okay, yeah. So I know a lot of people are talking about Dark Dimension 3 and such. I'm actually refreshing cores at this point and just buying up everything. All of those pieces. I mean, I have no gold forever. It's just that simple. No gold forever. I mean, someone did the math saying, maxing out teams to 75 plus all the gold to buy the pieces in the store that are needed to get to 14 is like 160 million gold. Plus it'll take 6 to 9 months. You know what? So I'm just starting now. However, I really only care about Ultimus 7 right now, and the two characters that I think everybody agrees on is Minerva and Ultron. I mean, that is Ultimus 7 right now, and I think there's not going to be any downside to upgrading Minerva and Ultron as high as possible. I will take them to 14 right now and not even flinch. And possibly even take Phoenix to 14. Those three characters I'm sold on.
I mean, even if there's no Dark Dimension requirements for those three characters are going to be worth it to take up there. So I don't see how you could go wrong with building up those characters, even without the game mode. And they'll be good in the game mode as well. So.
Right. And then my second priority is characters that I'm using in Ultimus 7 and in Squad Arena, which kind of comes into Invisible Woman and Vision. Invisible Woman I use on defense inside of the arena, and Vision I use on offense, and I've used both of them in Ultimus 7. They're kind of backups to the Tech Wing team, which is right now is primarily Shuri, Scientist Supreme, Falcon, Minerva, and Ultron. And Zeke said on Twitter that this ability right here was working as intended, and the Wakandan should not be there. They publicly said that in raids when self or any ally, so delete Wakandan, and that they're not going to change it. And in the way that the mechanic works is as intended, and that the text is wrong. So because of that, I've kind of gone hard on Shuri, and where before going hard on Shuri, I was focusing on Invisible Woman and Vision. And I do like Scientist Supreme. And I have a strong desire to replace Scientist Supreme with Invisible Woman. The problem I have with Invisible Woman is this bending light sometimes will put everybody under stealth other than Minerva. And that's a real hassle when that happens. Because then Minerva dies, and because I took Scientist Supreme out, there's no way of reviving her. And currently in Ultimus 7, the only two characters that I'm willing to spend cores on to revive is Minerva and Ultron, and let's just be plain, just Minerva, because now that Ultron's now gets to 100% healthy in the last patch, they fixed him. So, because you know how he's like 1 health short, and then he wouldn't revive in the raids, they fixed that. So Ultron is not dying as often. Minerva just randomly dies. I mean, Ultimate 7's hard. And then just like you load into battle and poof, your team blows up and you don't even know what happened. I mean, it just happens. Like I've seen Minerva with defense up and Invisible Woman shield just die 1 shot. Like I don't know what happened, and it's so fast. I just blink and it's like, what happened to my Minerva? And so, Scientist Supreme is better because I've many times I've gone in there with Scientist Supreme, Falcon, Ultron, Minerva. And Shuri's amazing, especially now that we know that she's not going to be changed. And Minerva dies, and you get into this loop on autoplay where the team is just kind of built momentum, and it's just like slowly killing the team, and it times out. In some nodes, you have to go in 3 times. I mean, it's Ultimate 7. We need something to do damage. I don't know what that is, but there's like no damage. It just times out. And Scientist Supreme will revive Minerva. And it's like, well, that just saves money, saves cores. Because for us, I think 60% is realistic without spending cores. And I don't, I'm sure if people want to spend cores, that's fine. But we're in a position where we don't want to spend cores. And getting 60% is the next tier of rewards. So
Yes.
Most of this stuff on this list is just to focus on those characters just for U7. You know, Phoenix is something that I'm interested in too, but I haven't found a good use for her inside of the raids. Even with using the Tech Queen team, you know, replacing one of the characters with her has not worked well. But if Falcon dies off, I just put in Invisible Woman. I'm sorry, I got a cold. And if two of those characters die off, then, you know, I basically can replace Shuri, Scientist Supreme, or Falcon with either Invisible Woman or Vision. They're interchangeable. The only two characters that are not interchangeable are Ultron and Minerva. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm rotating a few different characters, but the standard team right there is Ultron and Minerva, and then the other three kind of rotate depending what I want to try out. Now, one thing that I've noticed very big difference than the last time that we did this roster review, your focus was kind of towards war, and everything was going towards war. Right now, it seems like it's more towards Ultima 7.
Yeah, my only focus right now is Ultima 7.
Okay, what brought about that change?
Ultima 7 is going to be ongoing content. Oh, I mean, how long did we have Ultima 6? For a year?
At least
a year.
That. I think it was over a year.
Yeah, and
it was a long time. It was a long time.
No, and I got to give credit to where credit's due. Ultima 7, in my opinion, it's a success. I like it. I think it's challenging. It's not easy. It's something to work towards. I can build up a team. I can talk to other people and figure out what the best team is going to be. And a lot of what I'm doing with this team with Minerva and Ultron and then the other characters there, Invisible Woman, Vision, Shuri, Scientist Supreme, Falcon, really comes down to red stars and who has the most red stars. I mean, I mean, if I had a 6 red star Scientist Supreme, that would be a no-brainer. If I had a 7 red star Vision, that'd be a no-brainer. A lot of it has to just do with red stars. And so I don't have access to Invisible Woman yet until she comes back around. But Falcon, I can slowly farm the shards, and eventually he'll get to 7 stars. But you know, Ultimate 7's gonna be here for like a year. The rewards are vital to my account progression, right? And anything I can do to help out the Alliance and make it easier getting to 60% and then eventually 100%. But I don't see the 100% being realistic, at least until ISO 8 comes out.
You're probably right about that. That's probably the missing key, or like another level cap increase. But I see you taking some characters up to the level cap. I just on this screen here, I'm counting 4 in the top row, 2 on the bottom row. Where is all this gold coming from? Because I think I've only taken 1 character up to 75, and everybody else I'm trying to build up. Where are you getting all this gold from, dude? Are you getting lucky pulls on your gold orbs?
I have no gold. I have 0 gold in my account right now. I think I have
spent a bunch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I have. Jeez. Look at 4,000 credits. 4,000 gold. I have no gold. Hey, the gold crunch is real, and it is. You know, it's horrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just that, and it is not efficient going from 70 to 71. I mean, just look at the cost on this. I mean, it is. Look at that. Just to go
almost
from
400,
2 million to go from 70 to 75 is.
And you've taken multiple characters. I still don't understand where you're getting.
Okay, so there is a big jump. So first of all, going from 70 to 75 does very little to the stats like health and damage, but it does improve focus and resistance. So there are certain characters that need focus and resistance. There's a significant jump from going to 70 to 71. And then there's a jump from going from 73 to 74. So getting to 74 is a jump, and getting to 75 is a jump. So, and you know, my focus, of course, is going to be my arena team, which uses Ultron and Phoenix. And, you know, and so I'm willing to do it. Now, I had to do Vision because in Squad Arena, you need to ability block Ultron. And going up against a level 75 Ultron, it's not going to stick unless you have a 75 Vision. So you're just forced to do things like that. So any character that puts out negative status effects, like Scientist Supreme, I was noticing that on her retro vaccination, it wasn't hitting all the characters in U7. Which it defeats the whole point of that ability unless this hits everybody, right?
Yeah.
And even though she gets this extra focus, going from 70 to 75 drastically, I mean, it's like a 50% focus boost or some astronomical number. I mean, the focus jumps quite a bit from 70 to 75, and it's just needed. So I have to pick and choose, and pretty much, like if you look at my roster, there's sometimes a character that's at 71, and it's like, wow, it's either because they were getting stunned too much, or they weren't putting out negative status effects, or something was happening, and I was annoyed in a battle, and I chose to take them from 70 to 71.
You have leveled up a lot of characters since the last time we did this video. Oh
well, I'm over 5 million.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at your levels. You must be wailing super hard.
No, not really. I'm gonna have to wail for Black Bolt. My gosh, they kind of forced it on us. Like, you have to have 5-star Asgardians. My goodness, you're just take my money. Here's my wallet. You know what I mean? Just like, I don't even want to do Sif and Heimdall are ordinary characters. Believe me, they are not. They're good on an Asgardian team. I think Asgardian team is going to be over the top amazing, but they are just like filler characters, like Psylocke. Psylocke to me was just a filler character. It's just, you know what I'm talking about. Psylocke on her own is of no importance outside of X-Men, and that's kind of how I feel about Sif and Heimdall. It's just like, yeah, they're good. They're going to be important, and I need Black Bolt. Screw you, Fox Next. Take my money. Here you go. So, it's like I'm going to have to wail. It's just, if I want to have Black Bolt, and Black Bolt is just, no, Ultron, you do not get to play. You lose. It's just like hard counter to Ultron. Just outright hard counter to Ultron, maybe even Minerva.
Ultron, Minerva, all the summoners, all the revivers, they're potentially screwed if the battle goes right with Black Bolt.
Yeah, and it specifically singles out villain tech, which just happens to be Ultron, Minerva, and Scientist Supreme. There you go.
Surprise. Mm-hmm. All right, so as far as the Asgardians, I'm more excited about what Sif and Heimdall are going to do for Thor. I probably was more excited about Thor's passive than Heimdall and Sif's kit. And having them on the field enables him to do that just passive AoE that happens more often because there's more Asgardians on the field potentially getting hit. So for me, that's the Heimdall and Sif make Thor more exciting, and that's really why I want them. In addition to that Black Bolt. So,
it's just like saying that Psylocke and Storm make Phoenix more exciting. I get it. Yeah, it's true, but Heimdall and Sif on their own are needed to make the Asgardian team work. And Hela's, the Greg's rework with the minus 10%, that's amazing. That is just over the top of me. And it's basically,
screw you, Black Panther.
I know, right?
That's what it's saying.
No, okay, so here's the thing is, like, if you have an inclination to spend, which I don't necessarily think is amazing or a good idea, but if you have an inclination to spend, now's the time to do it with Heimdall and Sif. I would just go ahead and spend. Really. You're going to get...
That's how good Black Bolt is. Black Bolt is good.
You're going to get... Well, not only are you going to get Black Bolt, which is a hard counter to Ultron, you're going to get an S-tier team. We haven't really played Asgardians, but Hela and Thor look amazing. And then Loki's passive of kicking them under stealth when they fall below 50%, and they all have incredible internal healing, like Wolverine and Sabretooth have. They have that internal healing on them every time they take a turn. It's just gonna be a good team. I don't know how it's gonna be a bad team. And it's just like, wow. We haven't tested it, of course, but on paper, it looks very strong.
We've sort of tested it in war defense. We've had one war with them, and they're racking up those defensive wins. They're a tough team to counter, and they're even racking up defensive wins against X-Men teams that are trying for them. So this Asgardians are a tough team, and it's not even complete yet. Sif is not even on there. So
and then the rest of these characters here, like Chavez, Psylocke, Koye, Shocker, and Hydra Sniper, just characters that are currently farmable that I do not have to 7 stars. So every day I go and I farm them, and I get them going. Falcon as well.
Fox Next saw what you're doing. They saw you stocking up on the Hydras, on the rest of these characters, knowing, he's going to be ready. Let's make it all new characters for this next legendary event.
I just really didn't like the way they did Phoenix with the villain Mystic Controllers. Not great characters, Nobu. But we're getting 5 characters, Asgardians, 2 of them which we were given to for free. We've all had Thor and Loki forever. Most people have them up and going, right? 2 free characters. So basically there's only 3 new characters. Hela is top tier, amazing, right? And then
very, very good.
And then the other 2 are fillers to make a complete team, and it's necessary, right? And you have a functional, usable, top quality team, which allows you to get another character and a legendary character, Black Bolt. So there's a lot of value there. Unlike Phoenix, that event was trash.
Well, the 2 they've done since then. The Invisible Woman, Sinister Six is not that bad of a team. The one they're doing now, Asgardians, they're a really good team. So Black Bolt, Invisible Woman, I think they've went back on some of the mistakes of Phoenix.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Well, Sinister Six is an okay team, right? But you can unlock 2 sets of legendaries with that: Invisible Woman and Shuri. Fine. What does it matter, right? It's an okay team. It's good enough. But Asgardians are 2 notches above Sinister Six, in my opinion. Without even playing them, I know I can just see on paper they're the way Hela works, the way that Loki works with his passive, them going to stealth, the way that Thor's passive where if you're hitting it, not hitting him, he's going to be punishing you. It's crazy.
Passive. That is one of my favorite passives right now.
And then between Loki putting everybody under stealth and Sif taunting, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's gonna be a mess. Yes. And then Heimdall is a counter to Brotherhood. So a lot of the teams that would traditionally work would be like Power Armor, X-Men, Brotherhood. And the only team that I could see that might work, and I don't know if you're right with this, is probably X-Men. Maybe X-Men would work, right? I mean, Phoenix AoEing everybody.
Yeah, I don't know how those guys played it when we had the Asgardians on defense, but there was a bunch of losses against Asgardians against the Asgardians with X-Men. So I'm not sure if people are just trying to figure out the play order, which is the target that you should go after or what, but they racked up some wins against X-Men teams.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking X-Men can counter them, but it's just I don't know if people have enough experience playing against this Asgardian team to figure it out.
I have no experience, but I just know that Heimdall is going to shut down Blind, right?
Yeah.
So Brother, that's basically Magneto's not going to work. So some of these new teams, maybe it's going to be supernatural. Who knows what's going to be the counter to this? I mean, it seems like. We've had to learn what the counters are to like AIM. It's like, oh, wow, actually Defenders and Kree, who would have thought? Pretty good against AIM, right? Like, who would have thought? I mean, maybe it's some new team that's coming up. Maybe that now that Ultimus is available, maybe Kree's going to be the counter to things. I don't know. Fantastic Four have been pretty good counters to everything, too. I think that is the team.
Offense.
Yeah, War offense, yeah. So... the rest of my roster right here, I'm pretty much ignoring everything, here and below.
I mean, everything I've seen so far, I don't know where you would have gold to build up anybody. Oh, but there's more level 71s as we keep scrolling down. My goodness.
Yeah.
You've been spending this past month. Man.
Yeah. It's
medic there with the 71 security. That makes sense for the resistance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things. I mean, sometimes I look at like Colossus and I was like, oh, I want to do that ability there. It's like if that said like health and resistance, I would be tempted to go up to 72. You know what I mean? But it's like damage and focus. Okay, I'll leave it alone. It's like I don't need to play with him. Boy, I need the stars on them. Please make him farmable. And like. Korath was a character.
You need to wail harder. You just need to accept the fact that you need to wail harder for Colossus. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, this is of note right here that this was added with Yo-Yo. Okay. This nobody really caught this.
I didn't see that.
Casino brought this up to me in his live stream when we were chatting on his stream the other day on YouTube, and this is new right here. Coulson and Yo-Yo is an ally. Apply slow to primary target and secondary targets. I really had wished that this would have said shield. Or Inhuman or something, but if they added the Yo-Yo tag there, because I still think Coulson's going to go on to a different team than Yo-Yo, and because Yo-Yo is going to be Yo-Yo is going to be paired up with Quake and Black Bolt, and we'll see. I mean, there's extra shields, Trooper, Operative. I'm sure there's going to be 2 complete teams between the characters there. But that was added, and that missed everything. Not the patch notes or anything. Nobody seemed to catch that.
I didn't see that until now.
Yeah,
nice.
So that's kind of a neat thing. Korath is more useful now, although I would have wished that ability, they applied it to here rather than
surprised that if we go back to that main screen real quick, I'm surprised that you haven't upgraded the character next to Korath right there. I mean, he's always Nobu is consistently on your top 10 characters list. He's sitting at a measly level 64. I would have thinking that is a character immediately level 75 right now.
Get out of here, man! Between him and Hand Assassin, these two right here, they should nowhere. I mean, if I could have these at 20,000 and take back all their abilities, fine, I would do that. I mean, it's not even a thing, man. I mean, I would rather have those resources in aim assault or in aim security, which are functional.
You put those resources into those characters for Phoenix. It's
yeah, fine.
It's a little less painful if you think about it that way.
In a game where you're trying to minimize your investment to get your maximum output, it's frustrating to have to put anything into characters like Nobu and Hand Assassin. Unless they get a rework, which is a possibility. I mean, I bet you everything's going to get reworked at some point. I mean, people say, are we going to get a Hydra rework and get Red Skull? For sure. Someday.
Eventually.
Who knows? Christmas 2022? I don't know.
I think it is. I mean, they just changed the icons for the cloned Red Skulls, right? So maybe it's like, hey, this is how Red Skull's in the game. You just got to fight them and clone them.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that with Mr. Sinister, and I want to show you something that's a heartbreaker right here, and I'm going to cry right now. We're going down. Look at this. Look at my red stars on Mr. Sinister.
No control over that. All pure luck.
Or money. No, I mean, if you when they have the
if you spend, you could spend $1,000 on red stars and get zero for Mr. Sinister though.
No. When Mr. Sinister has a 10% drop,
have you seen my red star openings sometimes?
No, but if there when there's the 10% drop rate, if you have 0 red stars and you spend $100, and when Mr. Sinister had the 10% drop rate and you bought the 2 packs and $100. It's highly improbable you're going to walk out of that process with a less than a 3 red star, Mr. Sinister.
Agreed. Highly improbable.
But
still possible.
Mathematically unlikely that you're not going to have at least a 3 red star. Basically, that pack is just a $100 upcharge on every new character is what it is. When they boost the rates to 10%, that's just an upcharge. And if you're
Wales, give us more money. Come on.
And then if you're set on getting a 4 red star on every new character that comes out, then you do the tokens and you just manually upgrade them, with the tokens, which is fine. And I think that's the purpose of the red star system. The way the red star system today is, if you want to keep current with red stars, plan on spending $100 for every new character. That's just the way the game works currently right now, and that's how it's designed. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, guess what time it is?
Is it time for a giveaway?
It's time for the giveaway.
I love it.
All right. Everybody's going to love this one. I may have already given this one away, but I don't care. I'm going to do it again because I think it's the best giveaway ever. So I really hope you like this video.
If it's not in my roster, I don't have it, and I want it.
You're going to want this one for sure.
It sounds like I want it.
You're going to want this one. Okay, I really hope you like this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you'll be getting for free in your account an 8-star baby Groot.
This is not a scam.
That is the cutest baby Groot I've ever seen in my life. So like, what do you think? Baby Groot versus clone baby Yoda, epic showdown. Who's gonna win?
I think Groot is a little cuter.
Nah, I'm going.
You like Yoda better?
Baby Yoda, man. I ordered a T-shirt, which I'll never be able to wear in a video because he's green. All right, guys, head over to Valley Flying's channel. We're gonna do a review of his account, and you get to see save squads done correctly. All right, guys, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.